Hi, my name is Megan Davey, and I am a birth doula and a birth coach. I am the owner of The Nurture Journey, and I'm going to today be talking to you about 5 ways that you can help to reduce the stress in your pregnancy. So the first thing that I want to bring your attention to is mindfulness. So when we're expecting and we're having a lot of emotions, what is so important is knowing where they're coming from, all of these emotions, and not casting judgment. Okay, so this is like you need to practice this because society has told us that your hormones are raging and you're just having lots of feelings. And even if that's the case, the feelings and the emotions that you are experiencing are real right now. And even if this isn't something that you would be normally responding to if you weren't pregnant, then it's still something that you're feeling right now. And it's so important to have those feelings communicated and validated and spoken about, as opposed to repressing everything. So being mindful. If you're feeling like your brain is going like a million miles a minute, be mindful of that as well, and just give yourself a minute, just let yourself catch your breath, breathe in through your mouth, out through your nose, and just kind of help yourself to ground a little bit. These things are super important when you're expecting. That way you can help to reduce your stress levels. Also, tapping into mindfulness is being aware of things that you can actually control. So when we are actually being present with our thoughts and are practicing this through the pregnancy journey, it is going to be a huge benefit to us when we are in our laboring experience, because sometimes you have to surrender your expectations in order to be present in the moment to allow for the best possible birth outcome. Okay, so with this is something with mindfulness. Example, traffic. If you're in traffic and you're driving and the traffic is really intense, you can't control traffic. So if you're finding yourself feeling really frustrated and really tense, you need to try to figure out ways that you can let that go. Be in control of your mind over matter. Mind is such a powerful tool, and we need to help create the tools necessary in order to have our mind work with us in our pregnancy as opposed to against us. So if we're having these fears and anxieties, these tension and these frustration feelings, finding out what is causing them so that we can properly let them go, and making sure that when there are situations that we actually have no control over, that we're surrendering those situations instead of trying to take control of them. Tip number 2 is going to be your quality of sleep. So I always suggest to my clients that it's super important to try to get as best sleep as you can. There are a lot of ways that you can do this, because I know that sometimes in pregnancy it's uncomfortable to sleep. So, get those cushions, get those pregnancy pillows. If that's what you want to do in order to feel comfortable, then do it. Absolutely. Sleep is so important. When our body is lacking serotonin, which is the hormone that our body creates when we are in a restful sleep, then we don't have as good of coping mechanisms during the day. So if we're feeling tired and we haven't produced enough serotonin, then what's going to end up happening is we're going to feel short-tempered, we're going to feel more emotional, we're not going to have the hormones to support our pregnancy and to support ourselves properly if we don't get good sleep. So as well as making sure that you're comfortable, making sure that you're avoiding caffeine at least 30 minutes before bed, that you're also trying to avoid eating at least 30 minutes before bed. Same thing goes for screen time. Put the phone down, turn the TV off, read a book, take a bath, and go to sleep. Try to limit your screen time before bed. That can dramatically help the way that you sleep, because your brain is going to be able to relax instead of just turning off the phone, closing your eyes, and expecting a good quality sleep after that. So number 3, once you've gotten your sleep in control and you're doing better with your sleep, then another thing that you can be doing is get your body moving. I know that it can feel really uncomfortable to move, especially when your ligaments are getting sore, but this can actually be good stretching, prenatal yoga, things like that to get you moving. Trying to just stretch things out and move at least 20 to 30 minutes a day can really help your mindset, right? It's going to bring endorphins up because you're going to feel good. If you're getting a change of scenery, that helps a lot. If you're feeling pretty uncomfortable in your pregnancy because it's nearing the end of your pregnancy, then seeing a chiropractor can really help. Going and doing massage can help, loosening up our muscles, making sure that we are aligned so that we can support our body the best way that we can. These are things that are going to be really beneficial to help reduce stress, because when we feel good, then our body is able to just also get kind of that shift, that mental shift, which is really important with coping with stress. Tip number 4 with what you can do to help to reduce stress is making sure that you have a good support system. This is a really important one because I'm not talking about like big groups of people, not every single member in your family. Obviously, you're talking to lots of people when you're pregnant, whether it be online or in person or whatever. But I'm talking about people that you feel that you can be vulnerable with, because during pregnancy, you might be going through different things that you weren't expecting to go through, and making sure that you have that support system in place that you can feel absolutely free to express any thoughts at all. Nothing that you can be embarrassed about. Nothing is off the table. So I have my best friend that I do this with, and I also have my husband, but that's pretty much it. I'm close to my family, but not close enough in that I would tell them absolutely everything that's going on in my brain. Some things I might feel are ridiculous and embarrassing, and I wouldn't want my intimate support system to be one that I would feel any sort of judgment with. So if you are feeling particularly stressed, I would strongly recommend looking at your circle and making sure that you are forming a really good support system, because not only in pregnancy is this important, but in the postpartum periods as well. You need to make sure that you have your people picked out. I have my person and my husband, and when you are feeling anything at all, if you're feeling happy, you can share these things with them. If you're feeling anxious, you can share these things. If you are feeling ridiculous fears that you're thinking like, wow, I never would have thought of something like this is something you can communicate with these people. If you're having these people present at your birth as well, these people are going to be able to help to be your advocate, which is going to be super important to you in the moment as well. So making sure you have a good support system, not just talking to anybody and sharing all the pregnancy things. You can absolutely share with absolutely anybody that you want to, but specifically I'm talking about the people that you can allow yourself to be vulnerable with, so that you can completely be yourself and get the support that you need. And tip number 5, a lot of people, they will actually feel a lot of anxious feelings surrounding the labor aspect. So making sure that you get your hands on a really good prenatal education program. If you want to get the books, that you're reading the books, that you're making sure you're not skipping any of the chapters, that you're reading it from front to back, so that you have that preparation in place. So knowledge is power, and that I strongly believe that knowledge is what will bring you to an empowered birth. So making sure that if you're doing it online, if you're doing it in person, that you are doing a prenatal program that is helping to surround everything that you need to go over, so that you feel properly prepared to make informed decisions when you're in your labor. In the link below, I'm going to be sharing the link that I have to my Empowered Beginnings course. This is a course that I've created specifically to help with prenatal education. It's an online component that talks all about our pregnancy and your preferences and making sure that you're in the right mindset for labor, all of the in-between, as well as postpartum. So if you are interested, then make sure that you check that out.